SAO Season 3 just had its world premiere, so how was it? So what's up guys, Foxen here. Being a huge SAO fan, I was super lucky that the SAO Season 3 world premiere was close enough. Let me go ahead and give you my quick thoughts on the first episode and then go into a spoiler breakdown. So far I've seen so much confusion from the trailer drops. What the hell happened to Kirito? Why are they all kids? Alice, Eugeo, who are these people? Am I supposed to know them? And where are the old favorites like Asuna, Shinon, Silica, Klein? But really, I'm just joking about that last one. The good news is that you don't have to worry. You're actually left to continue with that confusion for the first half of this first Season 3 episode. The star of this introduces young Alice, Eugeo, and Kirito. You get a good chunk of time just to see this group's dynamics. Young Eugeo actually reminds me of a young Armin a bit. Kirito's the one that always has to encourage him, just pushing him, so Kirito is definitely more of a risk taker. From the trio, you slowly get to learn about how this new VR world works, and they do a pretty good job with this introduction. There's a lot here just to get you curious about how things work. There's a lot of lore to this VR world that's slowly gonna get introduced. For the second half, you spend it in real time with Kirito, Asuna, and the rest of their friends. You even get this very excellent anime original GGO scene. This definitely was top quality. It was similar to one of the battle scenes from the Ordinal Scale movie. And to be honest, it reminded me of that excitement from the final battle movie scene, especially from Asuna. And talking about the movie, this SAO Season 3 first episode takes place only a couple of months after Ordinal Scale. While watching, you do feel like Season 3 is a natural progression from the events of the Ordinal Scale movie. And part of this comes from the simply beautiful animation. When I mentioned from the trailer reviews how this is comparable to the SAO movie, that wasn't a joke at all. Due to all the editing I do notice when things look a little off in animation when it does happen. For the first SAO Season 3 episode, I didn't catch or notice any frame shot that was done lazily or looked off. Fingers crossed right now that they're going to be able to continue this high quality animation for 50 episodes. Please definitely take a break if it helps. As for the length of this episode, they were promoting this as an hour special, but really it was more like 50 minutes or so. Technically, there was no ending shown. Instead, the opening song played over the credits of the ending. Unfortunately, there was no actual opening visuals or ending visuals. It was just a black screen. This was Lisa's new song from the opening. By the way, Eddie is also confirmed to be coming back to do one of the endings for SAO Season 3. As for the music, Yuki Kajiura returns as the series composer. If you're at all familiar with the SAO soundtrack, which I'm sure you might be, you'll be hearing a lot of familiar songs in the background of hers, as well as some new ones freshly made for Season 3. Alright, so spoiler talk ahead. So let me go ahead and give my overall thoughts. SAO Season 3 looks freaking gorgeous and draws you in from the very beginning. You're allowed to be left alone and be confused for a bit. Then slowly you start piecing together what is going on with this new VR world. By the end of this episode, you're going to be enjoying so much what just took place, until suddenly you're left on a shocking cliffhanger. If you're a huge SAO fan, you're in for a year-long treat. Definitely look forward to this. I will be covering SAO Season 3 weekly. Alright, next up, the spoiler talk. I'm really just gonna go down the key events with some detail in this spoiler breakdown. Feel free to ask me any questions. For SAO Season 3 Episode 1, it starts off with young Eugeo chopping away at that giant tree. Young Kirito is on the ground laying next to him, just giving out some encouraging motivation. Both of them mention how they're apprentices right now. On the title card, you see the year 370 or so on it. Both Eugeo and Kirito hope to cut down this tree one day. Unfortunately, they can't even make it as 50 swings per day. Right here you have Kirito going up to the giant tree and checking its stat on the UI prompt. After calculating, Kirito realized that to finish off this tree's HP, it would take about 900 years. A little bit later, young Alice shows up with their lunch. Despite Alice being super young, she made a mountain of delicious looking food. From this, you find out that Alice is the daughter of the village leader. Alice right now is studying the sacred magic arts. Eugeo and Kirito start to worry that they might not see Alice for a while when she gets deeper into her magical studies. Sometime later on, Kirito changes the topic to Alice's food. Kirito was disappointed that any food that Alice made expired in only a day or two. Why couldn't their food last for like a week? Kirito wondered. This is where the trio started this discussion about ice. Ice would be a way to preserve food much longer. So in the end, they decided it's best to go find some ice. The issue for this is that the only place with ice might be the End Mountain. The End Mountain was this nearby mountain area which was a forbidden area. Alice argues that it's going over the End Mountain that's forbidden, so going inside should be totally fine. Oh yeah, and there's supposedly supposed to be a dragon in the mountain. Their bright idea is just to run if they do see it. This all leads to that shot from the trailer of the three climbing up and then outside of this cave. As all three of them go inside the cave, one of them points out how the weather setting inside the cave is winter, while it's summer outside. So, weather in this world could simply change based on changing rooms. Anyway, the trio continue inside. They eventually find this ice cave from the trailer shot. Here, not only do they find a bunch of ice, there's also a bunch of gold coins and some other loot. Among this, Eugeo finds a blue sword. Kirito tried to pick up this blue rose sword, but he couldn't even lift it up. In the middle, they find a couple of claw bones, then some tail bones, and so on. The three had just found the remains of a dragon that they brought up earlier. Alice wondered, the only one capable of killing a white dragon should be an integrity knight. But oh well, back to the ice collecting. After the trio had their fill, none of them could remember which way they came in from. All of them recommended going down a different pathway. Eventually, the trio made their way to the outside, except they got out the other end of the mountain. They were literally looking into the forbidden Darkland area. Just then, they saw two dragons up above flying, each of them carrying a warrior, one of them being a knight and the other a demon soldier. Both of these guys were battling, and the battling quickly became one-sided. The knight managed to knock the demon soldier off the dragon, so this demon soldier crashed on the ground below. Here, the wounded demon spotted the trio. It almost seemed like this thing pulled off some demon Jedi force move towards Alice. Alice was pulled oh so lightly. The soldier died, but Alice tripped over and barely her fingertip touched the forbidden zone. All of a sudden, you have this digital AI face that appeared right next to them. It mentioned something about a forbidden taboo being broken, then disappeared away. Alice, Eugeo, and Kirito then run back to the village as fast as possible. The next day comes around, there's a bunch of people gathered in the town square. Notably, it included an integrity knight. The knight said he came to pick up Alice. She had broken a taboo, so it was time for her execution. So, time to chain up Alice on their dragon, which honestly seemed like way too much. Kirito and Eugeo tried to help her out by arguing that they were there too, but they only got ignored. At this point, young Kirito had the axe with him. He told Eugeo his bright idea to attack the knight with his axe, while Eugeo grabs Alice from him. Kirito just runs in swinging away. However, this blue energy shield prevented his assault. The villagers then grab Kirito's crazy ass and pin him down. As Eugeo tries to do something, the taboo index thing appears on his eye and he's totally stopped. Somewhere through this first part, they mention how the Axian Church has control over the taboo index. Then, the first half or so comes to an end. You see Kirito waking up in this hospital bed. Kirito later explains to the others that he's been working on this part-time job, sometimes for 10 days in a row. Kirito's been helping this company Rad to test their soul translator. This involves Kirito going into this new VR world called Underworld. Anyway, this cuts into a new Eugeo scene with Shinon. I'm pretty sure this Eugeo scene was anime original, and my god did I love it. You see Eugeo, Klein, and Liz come down in an armored vehicle. Meanwhile, little Silica is on top with a machine gun. Eventually, you got Eugeo Kirito coming in with this lightsaber action. Oh yes, and it's the Kirito Cole version, also known as the one with long hair. Oh, and I can't forget about Asuna. Badass Asuna showed up with their own lightsaber. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Asuna was just swinging away that bad boy like her own SAO weapon. It makes total sense. Honestly, seeing this combo of Eugeo Kirito and Eugeo Asuna was worth the ticket price alone. Eventually, the scene comes to an end after the team they were facing retreated. Shinon later mentioned that the team they were fighting on doesn't have any losses. That's why Shinon thought that they could win it, but she didn't expect them to retreat. During their time in Eugeo, these guys are seen at this Eugeo bar. Right here, you can see some of the Eugeo game characters in the background for a few seconds. It was one of the redheads and one of the white-haired girls from the Fatal Bullet game. Oh, and at one point they do show the Fatal Bullet logo in the background too. Unfortunately, I'm always making videos, so no time for games. Next up, later in the day, Kirito meets up with Shinon at Agio's bar. Shinon mentions how the 5th Bullet of Bullets tournament is coming up. She also brings up how the winner of the 4th one won the first Bullet of Bullets too. This is why Shinon wants Kirito to join her team. Oh, and by the way, Asuna is already on her team, so Kirito doesn't really have a choice. This is where Asuna pops in from the back. With Asuna here, the discussion turns to talking about Kirito's part-time job. Kirito tells them about the company Wrath, the Soul Translator, and the VR world Underworld. Asuna and Shinon point out how it looks like Kirito has notably lost some weight ever since he started his part-time job. This is when Kirito starts going into more details. Kirito mentioned how he can't recall anything from his time inside Underworld. He then goes into details about the Soul Translator. The soul translator is this new VR technology. It pretty much connects to what we know as the human soul. In this case, someone's floodlight. The soul translator basically writes information directly on someone's floodlight, so it's capable of imprinting memories. And due to this, the opposite should also be the case. Kirito finishes by thinking that this doesn't seem like VR at all. He also wonders whether Kayaba's research would eventually have led up to this type of world. Sometime during this, Asuna brings up that she's now tracking Kirito's heart on some app on her phone. Kirito says that ever since he started working on this part-time job, he's been wearing this heart monitor. Oh, and you could bet that SAO haters and parodies are gonna run with them. This must be Asuna's anti-cheating device, which Shinan does comment on. Anyway, eventually Kirito and Asuna head out. Notice how at this point Asuna does have that promise ring she got from the Ordinal Scale movie. They also did bring up the Agma device in their conversation. After walking a little, Kirito starts to bring up his plans about the future. He tells Asuna how he wants to move to the US. Virtual reality advancements are supposedly super ahead in the US, so Kirito wants to be at the heart of that development. With this, Kirito asks Asuna to come with him to the US. Of course, Asuna agrees and both of them kiss. And yes, they do show you the kiss along with her ring. As the two continue walking down, suddenly Johnny Black appears. Johnny is a former Laughing Coffee member and the only one remaining. Kirito mentioned something about how he did feel they were being watched while they were at the cafe. Johnny here just goes insulting about how Kirito is in real life. He then takes out the syringe and charges at Kirito. Kirito pushes Asuna out of the way. He manages to stab Johnny with his umbrella. However, Johnny succeeds in stabbing him with that syringe. And yeah, this is that shot from the trailer. Asuna screams out for Kirito while Kirito collapses on the ground. Then, credit. So holy damn, what a cliffhanger ending. I do think most shots from the trailer actually appeared in this first episode. The one thing that definitely didn't show up was any fights with them with the orcs. So, going forward, I will be doing weekly reviews for SAO Season 3. Definitely subscribe and check back from that. I'm sure fans would love to hear from someone that actually likes the series. But anyway, let me hear from you now. Question of the day. How hyped are you for SAO Season 3 now, especially after seeing this video? Do you have any thoughts on Eugeo or Alice so far? And does anyone want them to take a break for SAO Season 3 in between? Anyway, if you love SAO, definitely leave a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I put out 5+ anime videos here every week. This includes SAO coverage just like this video. SAO Season 3 officially begins in October. Definitely check back for my Season 3 coverage weekly. Hit that bell notification and I'll see you guys later.